Hi, welcome to the Curious Mama Conversation. Hi, my name is Zann, and I'm the investment advisor, estate planner, and a mother of 3 girls. And I do not really look like I have kids, but my nickname was Mama Zann. And today we are very fortunate to have Ava with us.
Hi everyone, I'm Ava and I'm a motherhood and parenting coach. And I have 2 boys, and as a coach, I support mothers to free themselves from frustration and feeling not enough to experiencing more joy and also more peace in their parenting in their life. So I have training in a few areas including mindfulness, motherhood sociology, attachment science, connection parenting, and these help me to help parents and mothers to understand themselves better and also their children better so that they can enjoy parenting.
In fact, I think many times people have to ask the question, am I ready to be a parent? Am I ready to have a kids? So can you tell us back then, what were you thinking?
So when I got married, I think my husband and I, we kind of think that we wanted to have like couple life first. So we had 2 years to kind of enjoy our couple life, marriage life. And then when we were around 2 years mark, we thought, okay, maybe we want to have a child. And then we wanted to try for a child, and it took quite a while for us to conceive. And that's when I realized that, wow, actually when a couple has challenges conceiving, there's a lot of financial cost that is involved as well. And I think emotionally wise, even though we had good support from families and friends and all, and they understood some of our ups and downs trying for a child as well, the closer ones, but I think having the support is, we are ready emotionally, but having the support was really helpful. Yeah.
But actually at the stage of planning and considering, support is a word that you don't really know what it entails. What is support? You know, so only when the baby is in front of you, then you realize, I need time off, I need mother-in-law here, I need my parents here. So the support is not well defined. But I guess at this stage of open communication, you can start to talk to friends and then understand more. But in your more technical terms, what kind of support are you talking about?
I think few support, including like financial support, emotional support. I think having an awareness of, you know, what's in it for us in terms of like the costing to even go for hospital visits, right? Like, because for my first child, we went through IUI, and we were really glad that there were grants available in government hospitals for us to use. And I think we were also very lucky that our first cycle, we managed to conceive my firstborn 6 years ago. And then from there, we kind of know that, there are other grants and schemes that are supportive as well.
Yes. I think a lot of parents they're interested, they want to have a kid, but they do not know what kind of financial capacity they need in order to have a kid. But actually the answer is, there is no model answer, there's no model structure. Because when you have a kid, it is not day one you must fully 100% down payment and pay for their whole life. It will be like, it's important you know what the expenses is going to be, and then over time you start preparing, manage your cash flow and get there. So parents, don't worry, there's no 100% standard parenting model. In fact, everybody learn on the job.
I think in a way, a lot of people get daunted by the feeling of having another living person to care for, which you are fully responsible and committed to. So it's like the financial commitment is one thing, but the emotional commitment, the readiness of a mother, a parent, to be able to know exactly how to take care of the child and how to make sure that they grow well and healthily. I think this is the thing that, and then also the other thing that I also noticed based on conversations with mothers and parents and the people that I coach with, is also hearing a lot of opinions from different people, and then they worry that must have enough money to send their children to right brain development class,
piano lesson.
Baby swimming class,
Yes.
and they get daunted by the feeling that there's a lot of commitment that they need to fulfill before being a parent, and they need to have sufficient.
Do you realize that what you shared, right? Is that's why there is a coach guiding parents to do parenting, and not coach guiding children to be children. Because
that's a good point.
Because on this stress, right, that parents have, right, is because they have certain expectation. And because my neighbor bring their kids to certain class, I must send my kids there. But they are not sure why they have this expectation. So it is the parents who think too much. Yeah, and that's why they need a coach. And children have this problem because they are just being themselves. They view the world based on their standard. I learn because I like it. I don't like it, I don't learn. They don't understand that, I learn it because it's good for me. That one, maybe we need the parents to come and guide. But the parents need to be very objective about why they need to go for certain course. Okay, we spoke about that. How about the next question? Okay, so now I'm ready to have kids. What are the key things that I need to think about? What were you thinking about when you have kids?
We did quite a lot of checkup. Because we tried for a while and then we went for checkup after trying for a while, and then what we realized is that we might need to take some medication for me to regulate my menstrual cycles. And then after that we also continually try to eat healthily and exercise a bit more.
Then usually people worried they don't have enough money to have a kid. So what do you do about it?
I think we had a really good advisor to journey with us on some of the considerations in terms of financial. And I'm sure for your experience as well, you've spoken with a lot of parents to be and mothers to be. How do you approach the topic about financial?
Okay, first thing I'll just tell them that the kid never asked to go to a $2,000 preschool. Actually, the parents want to put them in a $2,000 preschool. And when you ask them what's your reason for selecting a $2,000 preschool, the parents may not give you a good answer because they need to have something true. So overall, my thought is that don't compare with what others have. Important is look at what you have. I would think that financial stability is very important. So before you start on the journey, you really want to have a kid, go and find out how much it costs. And look at your income. Is it consistent enough, stable enough for you to fulfill that costing? If yes, go for it. Because don't worry that now you're not earning enough. Because over time, your salary will grow. Right? So I will just give them this simple advice. In Chinese, they will say, 船到桥头自然直, right? So don't have to worry about that. But we do need to take care or be aware of the cost. Let's say we just run through the process. Let's say before pregnancy, you need to do tests. So the test can range from a few hundred to a few thousand, depending on where you go. Then pregnant already, you need to go to prenatal check. So the first trimester, you go and check, you take some supplement. Second to third trimester will be a lot of ultra scan costs, supplement costs, and then additional test costs. Or prenatal package can be about 2,000, 3,000. Additional test should be about 1,000. So these are additional costs and all in cash. So after that, then key question, delivery. Depends on each hospital you go, depends on each ward you choose. So the price can be 6,000 to 12,000. And this is what you plan. But of course, sometimes there will be unexpected expenses. For example, in my case, it was a normal third trimester, 37 weeks checkup. So I happily go to the gynae. And gynae said, okay, I cannot let you go. He said, why? I'm 37 weeks only. I don't have tummy pain. And he said, cannot, I must emergency C-set. What emergency set? My perception about emergency set is like the water bag burst or something. He said, because the baby, I can feel the baby's leg already, so you cannot go up. So 2 hours later, you have an emergency C-set, and that add a few thousand more to the delivery cost. So what I want to share is that when you plan for baby, you can have some forecast. Also add another 10 to 20% buffer for delivery. Confinement wise is another cost. Yeah. What's your cost when you do a confinement?
When I had my first child, I had a confinement nanny, and it was around 3K $3,000 plus.
Uh-huh.
And then like every week we had like, we went to the, or rather my husband was assigned to go to buy all those like fresh food, fresh produce and meat and all. And I think it was like $100 to $200. Including all the herbs for showering.
Now must add inflation.
Almost inflation because that was 6 years ago.
Yes.
So like, you know, everything is up now. GST also up now. So everything is definitely much more expensive. When I had my second child 2 years ago, I didn't have a confinement nanny, but I had confinement food catered.
Which is quite good also.
Which is quite good. And I really enjoyed it. Like all the
Yes.
food. And because they always have a lot when they send
And you don't have to clean
the
up after
variety.
cooking.
And I think one of the things that I consider is also having a peace of mind, because I personally like the no confinement nanny experience for me, because it's my own preference that I don't want to be told what to do. I like to have the way that I want to do things, and I think with the firstborn experience, I know what is my preference as well. Most nannies are quite traditional, which is not my own. I want to have a peace of mind, basically, in my house. Yeah, so it's a very personal choice, whether is it in your prenatal journey or whether is it in your postnatal journey or even delivery. Yeah, so like I myself, I also had very interesting births as well.
Yeah.
I had a water birth for my first child. And for my second one, I planned to have a normal vaginal delivery, but I had an unplanned home birth. So basically, my husband was the one who delivered my child.
Then this one Medisave can claim.
This one cannot claim. My husband was the gynae at home. Cannot claim. But I went to the hospital after that to just make sure myself and my baby was okay. It was quite interesting experience, because I don't think a lot of people can proudly claim that they did a home birth.
I'm not sure. Okay, I think your husband will feel more proud than you, because he facilitated a birth.
Yes, yeah.
Including cut the...
Yeah, no, we actually called the ambulance to come over after that. Yeah, so after I delivered, we called the ambulance. So we actually engaged a birth doula for our delivery, but they couldn't make it in time, and the birth doula said that they were on video call, seeing everything that happened at home. And then they said, call the ambulance just to make sure everything's okay. And then the person, ambulance people, what are they called again? Paramedics, yes, correct. Paramedics actually helped to deliver the placenta and did the cutting as well. But my husband did the cutting, and my firstborn was there when the cutting was there. So it's quite interesting to have
I wonder what question your firstborn will be asking.
Oh, he was surprised because that happened when there was 5 a.m. plus in the morning. So when I delivered the baby, he was just in his room, and then my husband made sure that me and my second one was okay. And then he went over to my firstborn, who was already awake really, because he could hear sounds outside.
I think your neighbors must be curious.
Yes, my neighbors were curious. Yeah.
That's very interesting.
Yeah. So he was okay. My first one was okay. He was like, oh, Titi is out already. And he saw everything, the cutting, and he counted the fingers of my second born.
That's very sweet.
Yeah, that's very sweet.
I even heard your case, right? Back then when you're pregnant, do you actually go and check out what are the grants that you can get?
I think the grants was something that I didn't know until I got pregnant. And then I hear from my colleagues at that point in time and friends that say that, oh, actually, you know, this grant you can get the $900, up to $900 of prenatal. Yeah, so like the checkups, the consultation with gynae, all this can be claimable, and the hospital can help you to do the claim. Yeah, we submit the invoice because they are the one that have all the invoice.
So there is also this CDA, Child Development Account.
Yeah.
And this baby bonus thing.
Yeah.
I'm very lucky. My 3 kids all got the baby bonus. Alright. So if I remember right, is that the baby bonus is a sum based on the number of children sequence. The more kids you give birth to, the more you get.
Which is the case for you, times 3.
Yeah, times 3. And they will pay this amount every 6 months until the kid is 6.5 years old. This amount of money can be used to pay for school expenses and some medical expenses. And, learning expenses.
Learning expenses, yeah. Correct.
Yeah. And the other one is the baby bone. The other one will be the CDA. CDA will be once there is a baby, the government will give us initial amount. Then the second portion is how much cash that the parents bank into the account. The government will give a $1 to $1 top up matching. And I think that's very wonderful.
Yeah.
So I'll give you an example. I have 3 kids. So at one juncture, I have 1 infant care, 1 nursing, and 1 kindergarten. My kids went for my first school. So at that point of time, every month is $1,500 of fees. And I was celebrating some 3 years back when my 3rd kid left preschool. That means kindergarten. So I did my calculation. Every kid went through infant care, nursery, and infant care, toddler, nursery, K1, K2, and times 3. The cost comes up to be more than 100,000. And because of these government grants that comes in, right, it actually offset it. Total out of 3 kids, we pay about 70 plus. So these are amount that is very, you see already, it's like, so much. But don't worry, pay over 10 years.
Even when they enter preschool or even infant care, there's also working mother subsidies as well. Available. So it's not immediate subsidy or grant at this point in time, but there's options available
there are a lot of
to
options
support parents in their journey of being a parent and also having the necessary buffer to help them feel like it's not a lot of expense.
Yes. Over time, gradually.
Then
based on your home birth, right? Does the insurance cover?
No.
The maternal?
Maternal. I did not choose to have maternal insurance for both of my children or both of my pregnancy.
Okay. Actually, there are always questions about should one buy a maternal insurance. So I think it depends. But basically, how the insurance goes is that when the parents, it actually buys, you're eligible to buy at the 2nd trimester because the 1st trimester is deemed to be more risky. So once the baby stabilizes, the pregnancy stabilizes, you're encouraged to buy a maternal insurance. And the idea is that you decide on the assured amount. And if let's say there's complication after birth, during the delivery or within a certain days after birth, then they will pay out certain percentage of the assured to cover the child and also to cover the mother. So it's kind of to offset the cost.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. Actually, my 2nd child, we had the home birth for my 2nd child, right? And then we actually, so like when you have a home birth like me, usually the ambulance will bring the mother and the child or the baby to the nearest government hospital.
Okay.
So in my case, it was KKH.
Okay.
And then from there, we realized that my child has this thing called G6PD deficiency through the blood test. And because of that, he had to go through phototherapy and additional tests as well. So the additional costing was not claimable in that sense because we did not do the maternity insurance. So I think on the hindsight, if we managed to get the maternity insurance, probably that could be covered as well because with the additional costing.
Yeah, back then you're thinking, should I spend another $500, $600 or $1,000 to buy this insurance package which I may not use? But when it happens, then you realize that that's the difference. So I share my viewpoint. Is that when I have a kid and then I'm pregnant, in my mind I will keep telling myself I'm making a brand new computer, not a brand new human. The system are brand new, the heart is brand new, everything is brand new. So I must take care of myself. So this brand new machine was started with a higher spec. Higher specification, alright?
So interesting.
It's making the baby, right? Then when the baby come out, you look at the baby and say, I will give you my best, I will take care of you. You go to the best school, top school, and then you'll marry the man, because I got triggers, you marry the man of your dreams and then you'll be happily married. I promise you. Then, next stage is that I will have a lot of expectations. You must be able to think very logically, you must do well in math, you must draw very well, you must play on the musical instrument very well. Then that is the stage where I start to give myself pressure. who said my daughter need to draw very well? She can be happily doing makeup on her face without drawing very well. But because I see other parents do that, and I think that she must draw, she must play piano, she must play violin. So I give me that pressure, and I force her to, or bring her to those lessons.
Like
so
ballet,
I think a lot of time parents are the one that give themselves the pressure.
And you know, according to attachment science, right, children who can do better in school, who have good physical and emotional kind of development, who have better relationships. One of the key reasons when if they can do all this, according to research, decades of research, is that they have at least one adult who care for them and see them as who they are. Basically, secure attachment, secure relationship. So no matter how much things that we do with them, ultimately it's really about building that bond, the strength relationship. It's not about the things we do, it's about how we are present in their own lives. So I think that's really ultimately the foundation of a parent-child relationship in you know, helping them to flourish. Because when they feel like there's someone who is there for them no matter what, they have the strength and the courage and the curiosity and the confidence to explore what they love to do, whether is it music or is it piano and all. And I think as parents, we also need to understand that we have children with different strengths and talents. Some of them may have interesting, unique needs. Some of them might have, you know, different things that they like. So rather than feeling bogged down by, oh, I need to do this, I need to prepare this, I need to think about this. Yes, a baseline is required in terms of financial and emotional readiness. But I think ultimately is to be able to know that, you know, parenting is not about doing everything, it's about being.
Parenting is not about other people's standard.
It's about standard,
The parenting is about my kids' happiness.
Yes.
That's my takeaway. My second kid is dyslexic. She is very different from the elders. And so when she's 3 or 4 years old, I was just looking at this, why can't she don't read? Why can't she speak a complete sentences? And I get very frustrated. She always cry. So after a while, then I learned that she's dyslexic and her viewpoint of the world. She's crying all the time because she's frustrated with other people around her, which is the adult, who don't understand what she's talking about. So she cannot express, and she cannot find the right vocabulary to express. So she expressed by crying. So what I actually must thank her is that that's where we learn, and then I must say, okay, so her mole is like that. I have to learn to understand her, then I can talk her language. So actually from this parenting process, right, I think I gain more because I will have to learn to accept her and then grow with her. So let's say a lady is already pregnant, mother-to-be is pregnant. So what are the specific things that you think you can share or this lady can know so that they can be better prepared? You have shared with us about water birth. Actually, you're the first person I met in person ever. So what other things that you think they should take care?
I think a few things is to understand who is in her team in terms of preparing for like delivery and also postpartum. And finding who they can work with and who they, you know, feel like it's not telling them what to do, but also respect their decisions and choices as well. Like for me, how I started about thinking about water birth is, I was thinking like, how come everyone say giving birth is so painful? Like they were just, everyone just telling me, I'm reading a lot of things for social media, I'm talking to people, and then everyone is like, how come so painful? Like, you know, it's like such a terrible experience to go through for so many mothers. And I just got to kind of like research and meet people along the way who supported me, including my birth doula, including the gynae who is from a public hospital, government hospital, and then who else? Like people who have gone through the journey of doing water birth. And I think with that knowledge and understanding, I was prepared to go through that. Yeah, so I think finding the right fit at each journey, and knowing that we can have mothers can have a choice on choosing.
Not that few standard. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is how I see it, and I felt my both births were enjoyable, even though the second one was unplanned home birth. But I feel that it allows me to feel confident in facing challenges in my motherhood, right? For me to feel like, I can do an unplanned home delivery birth. There's nothing I can do that I can't do kind of feeling. Yeah.
For me, I will share with first-time mothers. So first-time mothers, in their mind, they watch a lot of shows. They say childbirth must be painful. I'm not going through epidural. I just want it to be those that
natural,
natural,
no epidural.
no laughing. So at most laughing gas.
Yeah.
I think that's very mobile.
Yeah.
But adapt to the on-the-ground situation. If you need epidural, just take it.
Go for it. Yeah.
But it's up to individuals. Some mothers don't even have the chance. They were shopping halfway, then water bag broke, and then they had to go hospital, so they don't have the chance to do epidural. So I think after what we have shared today, right, we come to a few agreement that first thing, parenting has no standard level. Parenting is about helping the child to grow and trying to help the child to grow their fullest potential. And parenting is for parents to learn because there's no children thing. Right?
To adopt the mindset of JOMO, joy of missing out, instead of FOMO, fear of missing out.
Yes.
Yeah, because sometimes we are very kiasu. We think like, this kid is better than me. I should have my child go to this class, or I see from social media, or like this influencer, from the beginning have very nice nursery, all these sponsored items, all these like expensive $1,000 crib and all, and we feel like, for us as mothers, we need to provide the best for our child, right? Like the best things, the most expensive things. But in the end, as a child, what do they need? Yeah, like what we've been talking about. They need the love, they need the support, they need the relationship, the security.
Yes.
Yeah.
And a lot of time parenting is stressful is because parents has too high expectation and they felt that they could not fulfill it. So they felt that they couldn't fulfill it, but they can actually prepare for it. Can prepare for it, like planning early, financially. They can understand what's the cost involved and then prepare for it. So that when 20 years later, they don't have to feel bad that they couldn't finance the education or finance the interest of the child. Alright? I hope we have addressed some of the key questions, be it emotional of the parenting side and also the financial expectation of the parenting side. Thank you.
Thank you, Zann, for having me.